Hi, I'm Yvonne Jones, your host today for C2C World TV. We have special guests today on our show. We're very excited about it in our series for health and wealth. And we want to welcome today both Ralph Dana and Monica Kahio. And they both come from a different perspective of health and services of what they provide. And it's something that's going to be very unique to what they do. We're also going to be providing their services on our resorts, Edible Home Gardens Resorts, of which this show is sponsored by. So, starting off with you, Ralph, please tell me about your program, your products and programs and services, and what sets you apart from others that are out there.
The thing that sets us apart from other companies is our delivery system. It's a patented delivery system. When you take our isotonic powder and mix it with water first thing in the morning, it matches your body's fluid pressure. It makes it the closest thing to an IV without the IV invasiveness or the cost. It goes through the stomach rapidly, goes into the small intestine where the digestive system picks it up into the blood system. And within 15 minutes, you're absorbing the vitamins and supplements. And the healthier that your digestive system is, the more you absorb, and the more you use our product, the more healthy your digestive system gets as well. Um, so
Amazing.
that's what really sets us apart. So I really don't sell product. I educate people about the delivery system. If they're already using a vitamin supplement, I ask them to, when theirs is running out, to try one of mine that is use vitamin D, for instance. If they're already taking a vitamin D, I ask them to try my isotonic vitamin D for 1 month. If they don't see a difference, no harm. But in my heart, I know, because they're absorbing, because most vitamins are in a pill form that have so many fillers in it that the body cannot digest it. If they get anything from the vitamin, they're getting somewhere between 5 and 21%. Nurses call them bedpan bullets because usually the way they go in is the way they come out. Um, so that's the real difference.
And then the name of your company and product, or where, if you feel comfortable sharing what it is that it's isotonic, because that's part of the name of your company.
That's our one of our product lines.
Okay.
Um, the name of my company is Danna Sales.
Hmm. Okay. And the reason you're so sold on this is because you had a personal experience here with yourself. Is that not correct?
Yeah, so I got brought into the company when I was a teenager. I had a racing bike. I had a real bad accident. Um, I wound up with bursitis in the left shoulder, and it didn't bother me for over 20 years. Then all of a sudden, I was waking up early in the morning in pain. It would take me the whole day to get rid of it. One of my partners see me, asked me what it was about. When I explained it to him, he said, I have something for that. And being the person that I am, I looked at him, I says, well, what do you got?
Mhm.
And he says, I got this purple powder that you mix with water. I said, ooh, the magic purple powder. And he says, listen, I'm going to give you some, try it. What do you got to lose? The very first night that I used it, I was pain free. So
Wow.
I wound up using what he gave me, and then I bought my own bottle. And I said, okay, you got my attention with the product. Now show me this company. And I wish I would have done it when they first talked to me about coming to the company, because um, the products are phenomenal. The company itself is the original people that started the company are still with the company, except for the few that passed away. Um, and the company is celebrating its 34th year. I'm actually going to a convention at the end of the month in Miami, where we're going to be introducing some new products. And we just did a soft launch in Hong Kong. We are an international company, so we just bought on Hong Kong as well.
Well, that's exciting, Ralph. I'm glad to hear that. Monica, you got some interesting products yourself, and I can't wait to hear what sets you separate and apart and share some of your experiences. Thank you.
Well, absolutely. My company is called Indoor Environmental Health and Integrative Nutrition. So I'm actually certified on both. And, just to tell you a little bit my story, which is where all this started. Well, I've always been in nutrition. So I've known that all my life. But I actually moved to, the state where I live, and, just had, my most beautiful first home. And when I started living there, I actually started getting sick. And, I've always been healthy, I've always been naturopathic. So I couldn't find a reason why I was getting sick.
Hmm.
And it wasn't actually until I was home that I felt sick. When I was outside, I was fine. But every time I come home in the morning, I would have all these symptoms. I have a swollen face. I couldn't talk. My face was swollen. And, I looked out into all things until I had to go to the doctor. And they said, "Oh, you have allergies, and they're actually turning allergic asthma."
Oh, geez.
Because I couldn't sleep. I was actually sleeping sitting up, because when I lay down, I felt like there was an elephant sitting on my chest. And for a long time, I did not sleep, and, my health was going down. And obviously, I didn't want to take medication because I knew it wasn't going to heal me. It was just gonna, work on the symptoms, and I wanted to get healed. And so I just went looking into all the naturopathic things. I went to chiropractors, I went to naturopaths, I went to, all the different places that I knew to go. But, they worked for a little bit, and then they wouldn't. And then I had to look for the next thing. And so one time, I was still in corporate at that time. I went to a meeting, and a gentleman approached me and, was like, "Oh, I know what is wrong with you." I was like, "Hello, do I know you?"
Yeah, wow. Just by looking
Yeah,
at you, he could
yeah.
tell.
And he told me, he obviously he saw the look on my face, and he was like, I'm not asking you in a bad way, but the way you look is the way I looked 3 years ago." I said, "How do I look?" I was like, "Yeah, your face is all swollen. I can tell that you have either, very severe asthma or allergies." And
Wow.
I said, "Wow, okay." You know, so we started talking, and then he told me, how he got healed. And he said, I have this technology. Just, I'm not selling it to you, just take it home. I'm gonna give it to you for 3 days. After 3 days, you can, I'll come pick it up, and then, you tell me what you think. I was like, by this time, I've actually bought 5 purifier home filters,
Wow.
and they were from 200 to 2,000.
Oh my
And
gosh.
each one of them I had to throw away because they worked for a little bit and they didn't work. Some of them, it was so laborious just dealing with them. And then it became more expensive because you have to buy filters, you have to do this and this and that. And so I took that, the one that he gave me, I took it home. And like literally, I had not slept for 2 hours straight for about 3 years.
Wow.
Yes. And so I would wake up because I couldn't sleep, I couldn't breathe, I had to cough, I had to do this. And then so when I took it home the first night, I didn't sleep throughout the night, but when in the morning I felt rested.
Wow.
And that feeling of rest,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I know what you
Yeah. And then the second night I slept for 5 hours. The third night, I remember clearly because it was my day off. I slept for 12 hours straight without waking up.
Oh my gosh. Thank
And
God
when,
for that. That was like a
yes,
miracle. Wow.
yeah. And then when I woke up, I looked in the mirror. I could not recognize myself because all the swelling had come down.
Wow.
Like I could actually smell. I didn't even know I had lost my sense of smell. Um, I could actually smell coffee when I went in. When I went to brush my teeth, I could smell the mint. I didn't even know that I had lost those senses.
Sheesh, wow, that's amazing.
I know. And so I just called him. I said, "What is this thing?"
You wanted to know
Then,
more, just
yeah,
like
I
was
wanted to know.
wrong.
No.
Like, tell
So
me more.
absolutely. When I remember clearly, when I went back to work, people were like, "Did you get surgery?"
What happened to you?
What happened to you? I was like, if I had surgery, I promise you I would not be here, you know. You know, I would have all the, you know, the marks and everything, but you know, so it became my story. I started telling everybody because everybody knew I was in sales, so people knew me and they asked me, "Oh, what happened? What did you do?" And so I was telling everybody about it, and I gave this gentleman so much business. He was like, "Why don't you do this?
Exactly,
You
right?
have such a story. I had a better story than him, you know." And so, you know, I just felt, you know, then, you know, at that time I was kind of really, because I started studying it and, you know, what it was, because I had mold in the home. I had, you know, all different kinds of things. And so when I got my home tested, eventually I found out all these toxins. You know, an average home has over 10,000, no, 10 pounds of toxic waste just
Oh,
from building materials
oh my God, just from the
that we
building.
breathe in every day.
Holy
Uh,
moly.
85% of homes have mold in them that you cannot see.
Wow. I'm very sensitive to
And
mold.
then think about all the things that we bring in the home, you know, cleaning products, the things we use on our skin, all those things, you know, they actually contribute to everything about our health. And
That's
so,
funny. Whoop.
so that's how I started studying it. I got certified in environmental health and I started doing this because I was like, I just felt the call of God tell me, you have to tell people this because they don't know. They're living on medication. People with asthma and allergies are the most over-medicated people in the business, in the medical industry.
You know,
They're,
I'm really glad that we have you both on the show today because you each have different products that can hit and target certain things that, you know, have benefited you both, and you're both walking testimonies of your
Mhm.
products.
Right.
I want to come back to you for a second. On your products, you have a variety of things that you offer as well, correct?
I do. We're in every multi-billion dollar industry. So I don't specialize in all the industries, but I do sell the products on my websites. But I have partners that specialize in those other areas. So that if somebody has a question, I hook them up with that partner. For instance, I have cosmetics, so if somebody wants to know about custom blends, I'm not the guy to talk about the makeup. I don't use it. My wife does,
Are you
but
sure about that? Are you sure about that,
absolutely.
Ralph?
My
Okay.
wife does use it, so when she has a question, she knows who to call. It's not me.
That's pretty
That's
awesome.
so
Now, who's Gary? You've got a picture of Gary up here.
Gary is known as the Ultimate Human. That's the name of his company. He was one of five people in the world that, if you applied for a $10 million life insurance policy or higher, the insurance companies would give Gary 10 years of your health history, 10 years of where you lived. Gary would tell them what year and what month you would be deceased, and that determined whether you got the policy or not. But
Wow.
Gary's not a doctor, he's a human biohack. So he really investigates into different things. And one of the stories that I use from Gary is a senior citizen goes to a doctor and says, I have joint pain, the bottom of my feet hurt, and I'm tired all the time. And the doctor looks at him and says, well, you got rheumatoid arthritis. I'm going to give you a medication that's going to make all that pain go away. And it does for about 6 months. But then they either need a knee replacement or a hip replacement. On average, a senior citizen, after having one of those surgeries, is deceased in 7 years.
Wow.
All because they had an operation they didn't need, because they took a medication they didn't need. If they did a blood test, they would have seen they were vitamin D deficient, and over 50% of Americans are vitamin D deficient.
Yep.
And one of the things they can do for themselves is if they go outside during sunrise or sunset, there's no harmful rays, they can absorb the sun. I suggest that they have a blood test done to see where their vitamin D level is.
Mm-hmm.
Then do that, go out into the sun, do that on a daily basis. If it doesn't elevate it enough, then you go to a supplement. But why pay for something that you don't need when God gave you the ability to make vitamin D on your own? That's the only vitamin that the human body develops on its own. So that's how important vitamin D is to the body, that God made sure you can produce your own.
Absolutely. That is so good. I have to get that in there because our earth has everything that we need right here on it, and I'm really proud to be a part of that as well and helping people heal. So, and, Monica, do you have associates that you work with too, in the same spectrum, or how does it work for you?
Yeah, I can I do that, but I really don't, because I like to give like very, very personalized service.
Hmm.
Because that's not the only thing I do. Like I said, certified in integrative nutrition. I am certified in longevity. So basically, and I'm also certified in like a biblical inner healing. And so I combine all of those because, you cannot do one thing. Life is compiled of, because, when I talk to people about, nutrition, that's not just going to do it if you're living in an unhealthy home,
Hmm.
or you're drinking unhealthy water, or you're doing your laundry with chemicals, because all those end up in your body. And so I look at the body holistically as to what is giving it toxicity and how we can get it out, because that's the only way that you can actually live without disease. And so my whole goal is helping people live without pain and without disease by attacking all the things that are attacking the body.
That's amazing. I really appreciate that. I appreciate both of you what you do. It's unique, diversified, and
Mhm.
I think something that everybody can pick and choose from multiple sources of what we do. Just like you go to
Absolutely.
a grocery store, but they have garbage food, right? you know. And here we can go to the actual producers of whole health and natural products. Don't you agree?
Mhm.
No, absolutely. And that's what I do also is I don't look at the symptoms. I try to find the cause.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, in with the medicines that are out there today, they take care of the symptom.
Hmm.
And that when you start taking something for the symptom, it causes another symptom because something else is going wrong. And before you know it, you're on a variety of medicines that you really don't need.
I was
Um,
telling that same exact thing to my grandchildren, believe it or not. We were just talking about feverview, and they were telling me, they go, yeah, if you take the other medicine, you get all these other things. So they're well versed on that as well. So it's pretty cool. It's actually true.
we're one of two countries that allow the pharmaceutical companies to advertise directly to the consumer who can't buy their product without a doctor prescribing it to them. Um, it says a lot about how the pharmaceuticals actually do scare tactics to
Yes,
get people to buy their product.
exactly. Exactly. Well, I think what you guys both offer is amazing. I'm so proud to have you on the show. And actually, I would like to take a few minutes as to do either of you also offer programs where I think we kind of touched on it a little bit, but you also offer programs where people could be distributors for your company, Ralph, for example? Do you have that as well?
I do, and we actually call it a trial run. So
Mhm.
before they invest any money into the company, we actually let them make money, and they're able to put that towards coming into the company.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And do they have a certain do you meet like on a Zoom, or how do you actually meet with your people?
Um, I do it through different networks. I use Alignable, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram,
Oh,
TikTok. So but I use Zoom every day. Constantly meeting people, talking with them. It's not about selling product, it's about educating them, and letting them know what's available to them. And yes, I'm not against doctors. We definitely need doctors, but there's a time and a place for them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and unfortunately, we see the medical practices being brought up on a daily basis, by corporations, and then a doctor is then told you now have to see X amount of patients in an hour. And so a doctor that was able to give you 15, 20 minutes of his time is now giving you 3 to 5 minutes. And malpractice is the third leading cause of death in the United States. And those numbers go up every year because of the private practices not being private. So I
Wow.
do have a second line of our isotonic that's called Nutrimetrics. I can only sell that to the private practices, and they sell it to their patients.
Oh,
And the doctor knows what the patient needs, so they decide what vitamins or supplements that they're deficient on because of the blood tests that they run.
that's interesting. That's amazing. Monica, how about yourself? What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, the company that I mostly work with, it is actually we just celebrated 100 years last year. And so most people are familiar, with Electrolux. That's actually a mother company. And so we have different sectors. So the sector I work with, we have the environmental health, we have living water, we have a technology that we call laundry pair, where you don't use any detergents on your laundry. And that's what actually like hotels use. And then we have several different things and technologies for the home. And so with that, we have people come in and they can actually start sharing those. And, like Ralph, they don't buy before they can actually, start selling them. So it's, and we have extremely, extremely good training, so that, people are able to come in and become successful right away.
You guys,
And technology is very, very unique because, most of them are just a part of their own. They're actually NASA certified. That's what they use in space. And so, if you go to any baseball league locker room, you find our products there because that's what they use. They drink our water. They clean the air with our purifier. And they actually take, some of the supplements, which are very, like I said, we have very, very specific, supplements that are for a particular thing, not the one that everybody just takes. So, and that's why, when I talked about, me having very personalized service, is because of that, because I don't give you a supplement just because you need a supplement.
that's
You have to have a specific thing.
Well, I think it's amazing. We're coming up on a hard break, and so I know people are going to excited, wanting to get to know you more on a personal level, one to one with each one of you. And I would like you to share. We're going to also put it in the show notes of how people can get a hold of you with your phone number, email, whatever it is, and several links that you each have. Is there any information that you want to put out there right now, Ralph, for example, of how people can get a hold of you?
If they scan my QR code that's in the right-hand corner of my screen, that will give them all the links to everything I do. Um, and the easiest way to get in touch with me is either a call or a text. Um, my phone number is widely available. I can give it to you now if you want.
Please give it now.
It's 352-442-4978.
Say it one more time.
352-442-4978.
Perfect.
And when if you text me, just put in health, and then I know that you're looking to get healthy.
I love it. I love it. Did you say health or health?
Health.
Health. Okay, wonderful. Perfect. Or health and help. But that's amazing. That's perfect. Monica, how about you?
Yeah. I honestly don't get, I can't have people call me because I am on such a tight schedule.
Mhm,
And so what I do is I put in the like a document,
mhm.
and it has, a link where if you fill in, it actually comes back to me, and then I can get in touch with you.
Okay.
And then I have on that document, it has, all the things that I offer, because some people want to start one place, some people want to start another. So, so I'm able to walk them through exactly what they need.
And so we'll put that link in the show notes and they can
Mhm.
contact
Yes,
you directly, correct?
yes, yes, yes.
Well, this is awesome. I really appreciate the show. Just and both your guys' contribution to everything that you do for health. You've been in it a long time. You both have health experiences that you were cured, and it was so beneficial to both of you that you said, "Hey, I want to help other people with the same experiences or more." So I think it's fantastic. And I listen. I really appreciate it. I just want to say one last final note about Edible Home Gardens Resorts. We also provide healing herbs, and we also provide, it's a source for people who are struggling and trying to survive on fixed income. And we would like to introduce that in the show notes as well to those who need a safe, affordable place to live, and also for investors who want to make more and make an impact on the life of humans who desperately need affordable, safe places to live. And with that, I want to thank you both. Is there any ending things that you want to say that I may have missed that you might want to end, Ralph?
Yvonne, I want to thank you and Emerald Gardens for what you're doing to help people. We do need more affordable housing and also a place where they can get nutritional food. And you have a whole package there that they can pick part of, or they can do the whole thing, and that's a great opportunity for anybody that wants to be able to live healthy and affordable.
Thank you. And we're selling all your products on our resort. So that's a win-win. And how about you, Monica?
Yeah, I thank you so much for inviting me, and I have really enjoyed, getting to know, what you do, and I am very excited about what you're doing, helping people, because how great it would be that the people who are being, set apart are the ones who are actually going to become the healthiest,
Exactly
because
right.
they're gonna have, plant their own food and start eating, and then they get better health, and then they rule the world.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Every
yeah. So I absolutely love that, and I commend you for that. And I'd love to be a part of it, because I think that's where we are heading, because we are either gonna be fed chemicals, and then there's those places that are gonna grow food that is, that's healthy for us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, health and wealth. That's what this segment is all about, is health and wealth, and how we can help each other become healthy and, just maintain our interior, because what we look like what your friend or who you met said, he could tell just by looking at you certain things. And a lot of people are out there having that same, problem and issue. And there's other people out there that can help us. And so if we all pull together and act like a community of humans, with humanity, we can really help and win. And I really appreciate it. Guys, I just thank you again for being here. It's a great show. I can't wait to. We also have a ability to where we can invite you both back on the show if you want to run a series with us and have other people who you helped be on the series. You're welcome to do that. We're excited to do that too for you. So anytime you want to come back, we're welcome to have you. It's an open show, open invitation, and we wish you all the best. And thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much for having us.
Thank you. God bless.
God
Bye.
bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.